Hey guys, so let's take a look at some Black Friday sales. In my last video, I took a look on Amazon, the Nvidia GPUs, and there was really nothing that good. Everything was just okay priced. Today, let's take a look at AMD GPUs specifically. Even though sometimes Nvidia might pop in the front, let's see if AMD has better sales than Nvidia. Because so far, GPUs don't seem to go down very much in price, and these Black Friday deals are slightly discounted. It's very hard to even really recommend something. So let's take a look. I put in AMD GPU and I selected Black Friday deals. Supposedly, that's when we're supposed to get the best pricing. So the first one that comes up is a 7600 XT, $279. See, that might be an okay price for that GPU. It's a good GPU, but $279. Like, this should be $250 as a Black Friday deal. Black Friday, you should see some good discounts. So that's really not very appealing. And now let's hear a word from our sponsor, VIP-CDKdeals.com, a Windows Pro CD key. Add to cart, you put in code CC20. This will also work on Windows 11. You want to go into your settings in Windows, change and adjust your CD key, click activate, and now let's go back to the video. And then you go down the list. Interestingly enough, if you look at that GPU, it says 1,000 plus bought in the last month. So people are buying GPUs. Like, that's a lot of people. Even though Amazon is the biggest retailer, people are certainly buying these GPUs. If you go down, you're going to have a 6750 XT. Now, this is going to be the last generation GPU. It does have 12 gigabytes of VRAM, which certainly puts it ahead of like the 4060, for example, with only 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Even the 4060 Ti, which they are still kind of highly priced, $310. Now, this one doesn't even say Black Friday deal, but that's about the price that it overall should be. It's an older GPU, so I'd like to see this under 300. Maybe not the best deal, a good GPU, but not really the best deal. So now, let's see. It's interesting that if you look at the first GPU, it does say Black Friday deal. And then you look here, let's take a look. The second GPU on the list, I put Black Friday deal now, so that way only the GPUs with Black Friday come up, and it's definitely always going to be less AMD because Nvidia just has more products and more products on the market. So now we're going to have a 7900 XTX 959. No, thank you. That's way too high. Like, at this point in the game, that 7900 XTX should be like $799 because people weren't buying it at the $1,000 list price. People were choosing 4080s over it. They were choosing 4070 Ti, especially the Super. Even though this one has sometimes better performance, like if you're playing Call of Duty, AMD is going to be better, for example. But Nvidia just has that pull. You can't really avoid that, and AMD should show that in its pricing. It does say 100 plus bought in the past month, which is, people are buying it, but not really that much. So I don't consider this a Black Friday deal. Even if it is an Asus TUF GPU, a good quality one, it's a good GPU, but this should be like $150 less for it to really be some type of deal. And as we go down the list, they recommend now, they only did 2 AMD GPUs, and then they're already recommending an Nvidia one, a 4060 Ti. We spoke about this in the last video. $449, way too expensive. This should be $400, even though it is the 16 gigabyte version, which is not a bad GPU. It's just a bad GPU for the price. So that's still way overpriced. It is an Asus, a ProArt, and they're a little pricier because they're smaller. They look kind of nice, but still, that's not a very good deal. Then they recommend the processor, which is definitely not a GPU. Then you have a 4060, which is a terrible deal for $350. Even though it's an Asus Strix, once again, you don't want to be paying for aesthetics at this price. You want performance. I'd rather upgrade to a better tier. You worry about aesthetics when you have like a 4080 or a 4090 or something like that. Let's see. There are not too many AMD GPUs they're recommending for Black Friday. Like, it stops pretty much at 2. So AMD is like pretty paltry. Let me show you again. Like, let's say you put an Nvidia GPU, the same search, and then we choose Black Friday deals, and then you'll see you have a 4070 Ti, 4060, 4070 Ti Super, another 4060 or 4050. You do have that 7600 AMD GPU pop in there, but you'll see it's a lot more Nvidia GPUs than AMD. Not too many Black Friday deals though, and the ones that are there, they're really not that good. So if you were waiting for Black Friday to buy a GPU, you're not really going to find anything that great. There may be some that still pop up like next week because now Black Friday, remember, it's like a whole month now, a whole week like Amazon's extending it to a week. Maybe as we get closer, the pricing might get better for some of these, but early on, there are really no good deals. These GPUs are either models that are too expensive that people don't want and they're slightly discounted. It's just stuff that's still way too overpriced. All right, guys, so let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you find something that's a good deal, and I'll see you guys on the next video.